minutes to her advantage. The girl was blanched white, making her sparkly pink blush stand out like two circles of color painted on a discount store doll. Her hand clenched the pull handle of her bag, unblinking eyes held too wide for too long. Her hostage-like behavior was going to attract attention, if not scrutiny. Hardly the victim, Nia had asked to take the next step up the rungs of the Prokhorov family ladder. Dragging her carry-on bag behind her as she moved into the press of travelers, Sin's voice was barely audible, pitched to reach Nia's ears only. "You're going to be fine. Complete your task, get on your plane. Done." "I have to pee," Nia announced. "Can it wait until we get through the security check?" Nia rubbed the flat palm of her free hand over her mouth, her eyes watery. "Probably not." Sin stepped around the guy who had stopped mid-stride, patting frantically at his pockets. She scanned the corridor ahead of them, looking for a sign, pointed, and headed in the direction of the blue triangle skirt icon jutting out overhead. Nia's anxiety was palpable, but Sin wasn't going to worry about that. Sin had a solution hiding in her coat pocket. She didn't get this far in life by not thinking ahead. Besides, of all places to be agitated, Sin reasoned, this was it. At the airport, anxiety was par for the course. The thing about airports, Sin mused as she bustled along with the crowd, was that they were filled with navel-gazers. Everyone was busy with the act of moving from departure to arrival. Little worries felt big. Will the plane be on time? Will I make my connection? Will my bag get there when I do? Will my things be safe? There were the bigger worries too. For people who hated to travel, this was a time to confront the phobias that made their flight feel like a game of Russian roulette. Phobic travelers were easy to spot, checking the weather apps for information about turbulence, wringing their hands and deep breathing, usually with no good effect. Angling out of the stream of passengers, then rounding into the ladies' room, Nia jogged down the line of doors. Sin took advantage of a free stall that opened up next to her. Pulling her carry-on in behind her, she locked the door and peeled off her coat. Almost immediately, the sound of gag puking came from her right. Sin was sure it was Nia. Absolutely gross, craven little shit. Unzipping, Sin dropped her jeans and panties to her knees. She sat on the toilet seat, still warm from the last occupant. She might as well settle in and wait for Nia's stomach to empty. The less time spent out in the open where Sin's face might be seen and remembered, the better. Protecting herself from facial recognition was probably overkill for the banality of this drop, but tradecraft had become muscle memory, and best practices should always be applied. One never knew. Shit hitting the fan was a truism. It was better to duck any blowback from the crap. And this unexpected assignment was total crap. Sin had been handed a coward to field test. The bathroom walls echoed with the clacking shoes of women coming and going, the whir of the hand dryer and running water. It sounded like the puking might be done. Glancing at her watch, Sin felt the pressure of their time window narrowing. Sin didn't know how long it would take to get through the security check. Sin pulled off a length of toilet paper and crumpled it into her hand. She stood, dragging her clothing back into place. Sin adjusted the padded vest that hugged her under her turtleneck sweater. A costuming prop, good enough to fool the TSA machines, and even a pat-down if it were required. Added a good 30 pounds or so to her frame. With the majority of the cushioning just under her breasts, it created a menopausal redistribution of weight and aged her about 15 to 20 years. Sin was aiming for early 50s, the oldest she thought she could get away with. This was the persona Sin used when she flew. The brown wig with a Jack Frost-like dusting of gray strands at the crown, the padding, and the proper application of high-tech makeup contouring meant that Sin matched her fake driver's license. The license had a "Good to Go" star in the upper right-hand corner, saying that the Department of Motor Vehicles had approved her identity. With a last tug of her turtleneck sweater, a smoothing swipe of her hands, everything was in place. The automatic toilet flushed as Sin reached for the lock, flecking her with bowl spittle. Disgusting. With a sigh, she moved out of the stall, pushing her carry-on bag, where she'd laid her coat and purse, out in front of her. After a quick wash of her hands, Sin slid past the bathroom attendant relining the trash can. Sin turned her face away from the mirror. Habit, though her wig's long bangs did a bang-up job.